Definitely, and we've always said that it's not the fuel source, it's really about emissions and how do we tackle emissions. And natural gas and LNG is one of the best ways we have today already to reduce the carbon footprint and work towards a low carbon economy. But also, as you look at other technologies, we have CCUS technologies today. We have the ability to introduce hydrogen. We have clean integrated power solutions. We're able to tackle methane. So, there was a study that said if you just apply the technology we have today, we'd already achieve 40% of the actual goal set for 2050. And that's the deployment, the scalability. As an energy technology company, we're committed to introducing the right technologies and then scaling them with our partners. And that's what we're doing.
I think if I was in your amazing comms team, and if I was in the industry's comms team, which I'm not, I'm an independent journalist, I would be saying this is our biggest battle. I don't know how you work this one out, but the biggest battle for your industry, for Baker Hughes, for advocates of hydrocarbons, he's clearly convincing people that it is part of not only the transition, but the longer term goal as well. And technology is the answer. That will unlock the door. What you say about CCUS, we talked about it previously, I know, at that meeting in Florence as well. Why is the industry failing to convince a larger audience?
I think it's owning the narrative, and there's an aspect of also education and people remembering the importance of the molecule and chemistry. Again, let's go back to the foundation. It's not the fuel source, it's emissions. And we need hydrocarbons from an aspect of everyday life. So how do we take those hydrocarbons and make them cleaner? As we look at our new energy orders, we've actually seen an acceleration of new energy orders around CCUS, around hydrogen this year, and we've taken our estimate up to 600-700 million. And we see an opportunity for Baker Hughes of $6 to $7 billion by 2030 in new energies, and that's why we're investing heavily.
Before you, I'll give you a reference. When he starts talking about chemistry, I start having these sweats, and he can look at the fear in my eyes, because last time around he started telling me about the whole role of ammonia, which absolutely terrified me, because I'll give you a clue. At school, I was not very good at chemistry, Dan.
Right. Lorenzo, you did a great panel yesterday, and thanks so much for joining me on stage. I thought you made a great contribution, but I wanted to pick up on something we were talking about yesterday, and that was these forces of disruption and how this transition is ultimately going to impact operating models like yours at Baker Hughes and the companies that you're working to support. So how do you see this actually impacting your sector and the companies that you're providing oilfield services to? What will the transition ultimately mean for your operating model?
I think it's going to require a lot more partnerships. And as we look at the models, it's coexistence. We need to make sure that there is abundant energy which is demanded by people around the world. And we do that by making sure also that it's a natural progression, applying technologies and applying new ecosystems, and also the development of the circular economy. And as we think about the reuse of CO2, the ability to go into the waste management of the molecule and the derivatives that can be applied. And technology is going to be a key aspect, but then it's also the partnerships that exist. We spoke yesterday on the panel about how we're working with national oil companies, international oil companies, and each one of those, I could give an example of how we're working with them on really enabling a lower carbon economy. And it's going to require that joint partnership and ecosystem.
I don't mean to be downbeat, but do you think every business is going to survive the transition, particularly in the traditional oil and gas space?
I think there will be a continuation. And again, companies come, companies go. But the major companies are the solution here, and also the disruptive technology that we can introduce. And I think it's incumbent upon us at an industry level to actually work together. A great example is the commitment towards methane reduction. We know how to do that. We should be doing it as we go forward, and we're glad to be part of it.